What's up guys, Matt back again with another unboxing video, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Kaioken Goku and Vegeta from Matchmakers.
Before we dive into the video, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell, like the video, comment your thoughts down below for us to discuss, follow me on my socials, and consider becoming a YouTube member to enter into our monthly giveaways and Discord server so our community can help you on your Dragon Ball figure collecting journey.
These figures are based on Kaioken x3 Son Goku and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. They're based on the iconic moment from Dragon Ball Z when Goku and Vegeta clashed their Kamehameha and Gallic Gun from Dragon Ball Z Chapter 37. This is a Matchmakers release, which are crane/prize figures from Bandai Spirits/Ban Presto, featuring a pair of characters from an iconic battle from Dragon Ball. If you're interested in buying these figures, check my affiliate links below to help support me and buy them up for yourself. Son Goku was released on December 5th, 2023 in Japan, and Vegeta was released on December 7th, 2023 in Japan. Goku stands at about 3.5 inches. Vegeta stands closer to 6 inches. Goku weighs 10.2 ounces in box. Vegeta weighs 8.8 ounces in box. Goku weighs 6.2 ounces on his own. Vegeta weighs 4.8 ounces on his own. Goku comes with his upper body, lower body, and base. Vegeta comes whole with his support and base. Alright, Matchmakers. I have some kind of critical thoughts on this. So initially when I saw them, I was like, hey, this is a pretty cool release. I think it's pretty interesting to see from Matchmakers, you know, probably the most iconic fight in all of Dragon Ball, right? I think this is probably the most iconic moment of all of Dragon Ball. Super Saiyan and maybe Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 are arguably just as iconic or more iconic, but I think a lot of people know about, you know, the Kaioken Kamehameha versus the Gallic Gun, Goku and Vegeta's epic fight. It's one of the most iconic. So I will say as a character choice, this is definitely a 5 out of 5. Kaioken x3 Goku and Gallic Gun Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga. We've seen that here and there, things like this from Bandai and releases, but not as a Matchmakers. And I think it's been kind of a while. Off the top of my head, correct me if I'm wrong, but hey, it's an amazing fight, an amazing moment, so I think a lot of people would love to pick something like this up, the idea of it, right? So I really do like that direction that Bandai chose. Now let's break down the likeness. Both figures, their likenesses are amazing. They've really captured that early Dragon Ball Z style of their faces, kind of a little bit more rounded eyes, rounded features, but Toriyama was starting to go in a more like angular direction for his characters and his designs. So you kind of see that style there. Like you have like the little lines behind their eyes and like not the completely bolded eyes. Like it's only somewhat bolded. Like Goku starts from not even the top of the side of his eye, goes down, then it goes a little bit under his eye and then doesn't completely finish bolding. Like what a masterful way to make their likenesses. So perfect likenesses for both figures. Vegeta has the same thing going on in his face. Really does capture their emotions and everything from that moment of the fight. So spectacular job. I don't know who sculpted these. If you guys know who sculpted these figures, please let me know down in the comments, because whoever they are, amazing job. Sculpt quality is pretty good, you know, all things considered. I think their sculpts on their own are pretty incredible. Like you can see things like the battle damage on Goku's skin, all the scratches and stuff. His hair mold is done really well. His body and the details of his muscles are done really well. Same with Vegeta. Vegeta's got, you know, plenty of detail surrounding his armor. I don't think he had battle damage at this point in the fight. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think he looks just as he's supposed to. He might have had some scuffs and stuff on his face, but nothing like in particular. His hair mold is done really well. His armor looks really good. You can see his tail and everything. So I think they just did a great job. The only problem, obviously, is Goku is stuck to the base. And Vegeta, you need to stick a support in his butt for him to be there. But it's because he's flying in the air. So I get that. I'm not going to be super hard on it. But I will give both a 4 out of 5 for their sculpts. Everything about their sculpts is freaking amazing. It's just that they're stuck to these obtrusive bases that take up so much space in a collection that I'm going to just knock at a point. Now, let's talk about the part that I have a lot of problems with, and that is the paint and shading. So I've recently been, and you guys will see on the channel soon, reviewing older Prize and Crane figures because I've never done them before and I want to check them out, and I want my channel to be the Dragon Ball figure channel. Like anything you can think of for Dragon Ball figures, it's here. And man, figures, Prize and Crane figures back in like 2018, 2019, they had shading and they looked really good. And they were the same price. They were cheaper, I think, back then because inflation and our economy sucks right now. So all that to say, man, it's mostly Goku. Goku does not look great. I feel like they almost kind of deceived us a little bit in the marketing because a lot of the initial pictures for these figures, they kind of did that trick where it's like they put like dramatic lighting and they made the lighting a little darker, and you saw the figures in a particular way, which made Goku look like really red. And then when you get him in person, he's hardly pink. Like his skin is like barely pink. And you saw in my comparisons, like compare him to the GX Materia Kaioken Goku or the Ichiban Kuji Kaioken x3 Goku. And like, it's a little sad. Like the paint on his boots, on his pants, even his hair are pretty much perfect. And then his skin just really throws me off. And obviously there's zero shading on both of these figures, so it makes them both look incredibly flat because of that. And I don't think it ruins them, but man, it's really disappointing. So I don't want to be really hard on it, but Goku's a 2 out of 5 for paint and shading for me. It just, if you're going to do a Kaioken Goku figure, he's already lit up in the anime. Every time he's in Kaioken, like, it's dramatic. There's shading, there's different lighting. So if you're gonna do it, even as a prize figure, you're gonna have to put some shading on there, and they did none. So that's really disappointing. Vegeta looks a little better. Obviously he's purple because he's doing the Gallic Gun, but same thing. Like in his marketing, it looked a lot more dramatic, and it's not that much on the actual figure. I would say it's not as bad as Goku just because it's the Gallic Gun, like it doesn't really look all dramatic like the Kaioken, but it is still kind of disappointing. Like the paint is fine, but with no shading, it just looks weird. It looks very flat. So Vegeta, I'll give him a 3 out of 5 for paint and shading. I think Goku is definitely the more glaring one of the two, and it's just very disappointing to see that. So I really hope Bandai starts to change some of these practices and just add a little bit of shading, at least on the front of your Prize and Crane figures. That's what you used to do. I mean, FES figures were Prize and Crane figures, and they had shading all over the dang things. So there's really no excuse. Please, Bandai, change some of what you're doing, because these figures are close to perfect, and you just kind of fumbled it because of that little thing. So all in all, let's move on. I think we're at size and scaling now. Size and scaling, they're small. They're very, very small. It's not terrible though. I still think they look fine, but I would say both get a 3 out of 5 in terms of size and scale. They scale well with each other, but man, Matchmakers is just like, they're all tiny figures now. And I was looking back at some of the earlier ones, like things like the Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza, and the Super Saiyan Gogeta and Super Saiyan Broly. Like, Man, I think they were better or bigger back then. So I don't know why they've decided to go with like the minifigure direction with these. They already have other minifigure type of things. So I don't know, man. It's just a little disappointing there. But yeah, those are my thoughts on these guys. Do I think they're worth the money? I don't know. Maybe not, close to $30 each. If you can get them for maybe like $15 a pop, like a $30 total package, maybe even up to 40 together, I think that's fair. But individually at full retail price, I probably can't support it. So I think they're fine figures. They just really missed the mark in a couple of areas, just being too small, being on these obtrusive bases, and the shading, man. No shading really makes them look kind of weird. So I'm going to walk away. Goku is going to get a 2.5 out of 5, and Vegeta is going to get a 3 out of 5. But until the next video, guys, I will see you all later.